I started it. Okay, now you see here. So here I just wanted to talk about this. So I'll just uncomment these two statements also. Now I have this. Okay, guys. So we told, right? So we wanted to discuss about plus plus x and x plus plus. First, I'll explain here. Then I'll explain here. Okay, so you will understand then what is the difference between plus plus x and x plus plus. Now, first I'll try to explain about this. By seeing this one itself, we can understand one thing. Okay, now what we can understand is this is prefix and then this is postfix. That is very simple. By seeing this one, what I'm trying to do, first I'm incrementing the variable. Here, later on, I'm incrementing the variable. So that is what the basic difference, prefix and postfix of increment of the variable. Now, what I'll try to do, I'll keep that x value, okay, plus, first of all, remove the comments now, and then y value. Okay, so let's see what it will print for me. Okay, and here I'll come here and then let's see what it does. I'll comment this statement for the namesake. Now when I execute this one, see the output. I'll keep y also here separate. Okay, now x value equal to 1, y value equal to 1. Now what it was happening, just we will see. The basic, I'm assigning the value, declared the x value, and then assigned the value 0. I defined the y value, assigned the 0 value. And y means what I'm trying to do into the y, I'm just making, I was trying to increment that value and then I was storing it. Both were 0. X is 0, y is 0. And then as I incremented the x value, so the x value also incremented. So the x value gone for 1. And as this is an incremented value, so we are storing that particular y value here. So that y value is also 1. So now, is there any doubts in this one? This is what the step number 1. Are we clear with the step number 1? Guys, any questions?
Yeah.
Now, what we will try to do, for step 2, what it will happen, and you will get to understand that. Okay, I'll execute this. Oh, sorry. Oh my God, what it was happen? So here, what means the same, I didn't change the values. X equal to 0, y equal to 0. Now my y value means here I'm doing the post increment, not the pre increment. When I do the post increment, the value of x has been incremented, but when I seen for the value of y, okay, the value of y is 0. It's not updated. Do you remember when we executing our for loop, until unless I come to this, it was not incrementing me. So wherever here in the loop, I'll go back when I'll show that example also. So what is the pointer we need to understand is, so we do have two forms of things. One is pre-increment and one is post-increment. What is the basic difference between that x plus plus and plus plus x's? It increments the variable expression and then you use the new value. So whenever you are giving the pre, so it increments the value and uses the new value. But now if you see here, the variable would be first used, means whatever the x value is there, first it was using there, then it will increment that particular operator, means then it will add the value. The same example it will talks over here. In the first step, what it happened, so first it incremented and used the new value, but here it used the existing value and later on it will increment that particular value. Okay, so guys, it's a little bit tricky. Just once again, I'm trying to repeat it again. So first it increment and uses the new value. And this one, it will uses the old value. Later on, it will increment that particular value. So that is what the basic difference between prefix and the postfix. And now this more or equal for this x plus equal to 1. So this is the post increment operator. Here also, first it will take this value, later on this will be incremented. Okay, let's even we can see that one also, right? We can try that too, what the values will print for here. Equal to 1. Okay, I'll comment this statement and then execute it. Oh, it incremented for this one. Guys, I don't get confused. I'll talk about this one later. So just come to over here and okay. So did you understand this particular pointer? There is a small change here. I'll explain that one. So the second step is clear for you, guys. Any questions around this one? So yeah, the basic difference is first it will do the increment and then it will take the new value. Here it will take the old value and then later on it will do the increment. Now come back to your for loops. I mean, the for loop, you didn't see any major differences, right? Now I'll show you the difference, how it will come like. So if you come here into your for loop, okay. So here we have used I++ and we have this one plus I++. Now, when you do the debugging, so okay, when you run the program, first I'll run the program and I'll show it. Okay, for the ease of use, I'll just comment this program and then run this. You seen it, right? Nothing is different. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It printed. Now, what I'll try to do, I'll remove this. Okay. Okay. Now, did you find any differences? No. But when you do the debugging, you can understand that particular value. So first, now what I'll try to do, I'll try to do the debugging for I++. Okay. So when I do the I++, now I'll try to do a debugging here. I'll keep this. Okay. And I'll start doing the debugging. So now if you come here, what is the I value? 1. Okay. What is I value? 1. Now, as it come to here, then it incremented, right? You seen it, right? So then it was incrementing the values. Now let's go for this plus I. Okay. Now I'll terminate this. And once again, I'll try to assign for this. So now when I started the execution, you see the value here, it was I. Here also means here it was happening, but in this toast message, you are not able to see it. But okay, anyways, fine. So you guys, did you understand what is the basic difference between this and this? So because that's actually what is the problem, you know, I'm not able to show you that how internally it was acting upon. So internally, so the basic how it works is, so first it do the increment and then it will take the new value, and here it will take the old value and then later on it will increment, but it will print the latest value itself. Internally, the Java will take care of this one. I just thought of showing you in the toast message, but in the toast message also it was not showing me. So how is that internally it will be iterating and then it will be having the increment, right? So that we can't see with our naked eye. I thought to show in this method, it will be showing it. Even here also we are after updating only we are seeing the values. Okay, so that is what the basic differences between the both. Any other questions around this one? Are we clear or any doubts?
No, Krish, we are good. No.
Okay, so now I'll just go for this arrays. So let's get into that array topic. But actually arrays are simple only, right? So is there any specific question for arrays you want me to discuss, or you want me to explain the complete arrays? Guys, this is for whoever asked me on the arrays. This question is for them.
She asked for multidimensional arrays.
You wanted for the multi-dimensional array.
Oh.
The basic thing is, if you wanted to understand the multi-dimensional array, we have to be clear from the single dimensional array. Okay, however, I'll add that and then I'll try to show it. I just copied the program as use in interest of time. Okay, Control A, Control Shift F. Okay, now let's see how this will work, and then I'll go for the okay. I'm directly showing the multi-dimensional array. I'll come to this one later. Single dimensional array program. Nana, just give me another half an hour. I'll be back. Okay, so I'll take it here. I'll try to command this. Okay, this would be the single dimensional array and this would be the double dimensional array. And Anish, you asked me for each, right?
Yeah.
I'll try to take this for each also, so that at one shot we can cover all. Okay, so here first we will talk about single dimension array, and here we will talk about double dimensional array, and here we will talk about for each. Okay, now let's come to here. What do you meant by I know that you guys know that, so that's the reason I'll be giving a very quick recap on the single, so that if you understand single, then I'll come to the double. Now what do you meant by first of all, we need to understand what is array. See, now I wanted to keep a group of things. For an example, which example I can take? Okay, all my chocolates I'll be keeping into one particular box, and all my fruits I'll be keeping into one particular box, and all my vegetables I'll keep it into certain box. Whenever I want a chocolate, I'll open the chocolate box and I'll eat it. Whenever I want the fruits, I'll open the fruits box and then I'll eat it. Means you are trying to group the same set of objects. Now arrays is also the similar way. We will be having a group of similar kind of things. Now we were having the different data types, right? So the first we will be mentioning the data type here. So here we have string data type, and we have integer data type, float data type, or double data type. Whatever the data types we wanted to define, we will be defining the data type first. So here, this is what my data type which I wanted to define. And after that one, the square brackets will say that this is an array. Okay, so that is what we are defining that square braces. So now if you want that's an integer, so then that is simple. So int square braces, you will be giving it. So that's how, means whatever the data type you wanted to give it. So that's how you'll be defining the data type with the square braces. Now, what is this cars is? The cars is variable. So now what variable names, you can give it for anything. So usually the array variable names will start like ARR and the variable name car, for an example. So this is what the standard how we need to define for it. Now, what we are trying to do, wanted to store the similar data type items. Means if I have a big list of items, I wanted to store that particular list of items, right? I'll take that list of items and I'll store it into an array. Now, if I wanted to access this particular array, so that means we will be, means for example, now I called Nazima. So Nazima will respond for me. If I call Ruma will be responding for me. If I call Anish would be responding for me. So everyone will have the unique name. For an example, if there is 2 Rumas, then I need to say that Ruma Chakraborty you need to respond for me, or I'll be giving some ID for that. So now for this one, you will be having an index values. So always in array, the index value starts with 0, 1, and 2, and 3. Like this, it will be starting for this one. So the first thing we need to remember that arrays will store the similar data types, and array will means we need to define the data types in front of an array declaration. And how to add an array? So this is it stores the list of similar items. So that is what we are having it, and we will be having indexing for the arrays. It starts the indexing from 0. That's it. That's what the simple array. So now what we will try to do here, we have been defined a particular array of cars. We have been taken the example as Volvo, BMW, Ford, and Mazda. So now we have been taken all these particular list of things, and then we kept it into the car. Now, if I wanted to get the BMW, so Uday, can you tell me how I should print this one? So how I should define if I wanted to print the BMW?
Print my BMW. You enter my value is BMW.
Boss, how means I want the value of BMW. So how I'll get the value of that?
1.
Is it directly if I given 1, it will come?
Cars of 1.
Cars of
1.
1. If I given 1, then I'll come later for this for loop. So first, if you understand this, then it will be car for us. So this is cars, and I'm defining it as car now. Okay. So now you see it here. So he printed me BMW. Now, if I wanted Mazda, then what I need to give it, Uday?
You enter 3.
That's it. That's it. Very simple. Guys, you need to understand the logic. It is very easy to learn. And you can enjoy. When you are doing Java, you can have the fun. Okay. And if you are in Python, that would be much more. That's a next level. However, coming back to the discussion, I don't want to deviate you. So here, if you see here, so now strings car, we have all the values here. And this means when we have been printing this, this is how we are accessing it. Now, if I wanted to print the complete items of that particular thing, just a simple for loop, I'll take 0. And I wanted to know the length of this one because I don't know the length of this. So what I'll do, cars dot. So now if you give a dot for that array, whatever the methods are available here, we'll be getting it. So here you can have the length of that particular array. And we do have all other things. Don't worry about those all. So it is not really required for as of now. You just understand. So now I wanted to means why I should get the length of this one. So first I'll try to print what is the length so that we can understand. So what is the length of this particular array? Sandhya?
4.
If I print here, the length of array, so what it will print for me?
4.
Okay, so Monica, what is the length here it will print for me?
4.
Anish, if I execute this program, what it will print for me? I'm ready to execute. Okay, Dharini, so what is the value it will print for me?
I think 3, sir.
The length is 4. See, the length of this one, it starts from 0. So, the index will start from 0, but the length of this one is 4 items. Because now you need to run this one for the 4 times, right?
Yeah.
So that's the reason. Means how many elements are there here? Is it 3 elements, Dharni?
No, sir.
4 elements. So that's where the length starts with 1, not with 0. Index starts with 0. That is what the difference you need to understand. Wow. Boss, now I understand how to define an array. So now see, this is a variable. See, now you can do in this way also. So cards. So this way also you can do it. So initialization, declaration, and of this variables, we can do it. But I'll say why it was throwing an error. We need to create an constructor for this and give the array size, and we can define the array size, and then we can do that. But as of now, don't get into that. You might get confused. So now we define a particular array here and we store the values of array here. And then we are trying to get the length of that particular array, and how to do the indexing and how to get the length we have been discussed now. Now what we will try to do. So here we will try to execute this and see whether it's printing me all the values. So now what I'll try to do. So it's a very simplest program. So if you see, I'm starting from 0th because my index, I'm passing here the index value. So the index of 0 is vulva. So now I'll try to do one thing. So my index, because index is, you need to understand the index values, the most important thing in the array. Index value is I, right? My index value is I plus my value is this. Okay. And here I'll print plus. So here it will print me this value and then we will see it. See, my index value 0 and the value is Volvo. My index value is 1, I'll be getting BMW. My index value is 2, I'm getting Ford. My index value is 3, I'm getting Mazda. You got it right? So this is how the single dimensional array will work for us. So any confusions, any questions? Are we clear with this?
Yes, sir.
Excellent, excellent. Now let's go back, means whatever the things we have been discussed here, I'll just try to comment those things. Now I have a clear-cut idea on indexing and I have a clear-cut idea on my length of this one. So we have clear-cut ideas, right? Now what I'll try to do, I'll come to the two-dimensional array. Okay, so when it comes to the two-dimensional array, okay, first I'll come from the syntax itself. It would be much more easier. Now in the syntax here also same bus, there is nothing difference. Whatever the data type I wanted to give, so that particular data type I can give it over here. Okay, so the data type, and only the difference here, previously I have single dimensional array. Now I have one more array, means I'm trying to have two lists. Previously I have only one list. Now I do have two lists. Okay, so when I have the two lists, I need to define two square brackets. Okay, that is understandable. By seeing this one, you should able to understand this is a two-dimensional array. This is a single dimensional array. But this even first standard guy also can understand. You go further. Let's see. This is variable. Okay, so now here I have my variable, and if you see here, this is what first list for the first array, second list for second array. Okay, now here what I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and here I have 5, 6, 7. So now I have two lists. List number 1 for this array, list number 2 for this particular array. Now, if I have this particular length, my numbers, right? So now I'll just try to print my length. What is my length of the two-dimensional array? Okay, so length I have been taken. Okay, guys, you tell me. I'm going step by step, but still if you have any doubts, you can stop me there. Now I taken the same my numbers and I was just trying to check this length. What is the length of this one? So can you guess what is the answer?
4,3.
Huh? Any answers? That's it. So here, this is one list and this is one list. That is what my length, right?
Okay.
I got this. Then what else you wanted? Okay, boss. Now I wanted to have this list, and means I wanted to have this particular value. So then how I'll get it? Boss, don't ask me these silly questions. Come here, 2D first array. Okay, length of 2D first array. Okay, now what I'll try to do here, I'll give that. Okay, give that particular here means the length, right? So I'll be giving this one. So now what is the answer it will print for me here?
4.
What is the answer it will print for me?
4.
4.
4 and 3.
4 and 3. It will print both. Huh? Okay. So what
Only
it will
4.
print here? And what it will print me here?
4 and 3.
2 and 4.
There 4 and
2 and 4.
2
Okay.
and 4.
Here
2 and
2.
4.
Because
four.
already we executed, this is 2. What is the value for here?
4 and 2.
4.
4.
4.
Okay, 2 and 4. 2 and 4.
Sorry,
Boss,
2 and
you
3.
see,
3.
why 3?
Second array.
Second it is print.
Guys, you are missing this one. You are confusing with index, and that is what I told you here, right? Why you guys are getting confused? Boss, this is index. You what? Okay, one blind spot. Whatever you are trying to give in the square braces, that is index. Now you tell me what the value print here.
4 and 2.
4.
4.
Here
3.
3.
is it right?
Yes.
Yes.
Got it or not? Guys, you can.
Got it.
Yes, yes.
It's very simple.
Yes,
See
sir.
now, this is means this is for second, and this is for first. Is it difficult to understand? Just I defined my two-dimensional array. Given the variable, I kept 2 lists. Now the index of this one is 0, comma 1. Okay. So now first I taken the length. Okay, length of the 2D. So it have 0, 1. That's where it printed 2. Now 0th of this one means this particular array size. How much is that? 4. And what is the size of the second list? This is 3. Any doubts in this one? Is it complicated?
No.
See guys, always when you see a problem holistically, always it will be a big problem. But when you slice the problem, you can get the easiest answers for that. Okay, now let's come back here. For the ease of use, what I'll try to do, I'll go for the printing of all the numbers. First, I wanted to print all my this values. Okay, then I'll think about this value. Now, what I'll try to do, okay, if I wanted to do this one itself, see now what I'm writing here, I equal to 0. Okay, I'm starting from the 0. And my number length. So what is my number's length? This is what my array length. Okay, this is what the thing which I was trying to print. Okay, what it will be printing me, means I can't iterate anything here. So now let's go to this. You understand this, right? So I'm initializing the I equal to 0, and then I'm giving the length, means how many times it will run. I have means how many lists I have?
2.
2 lists. So this is first list and this is second list. So the answer here, it is 2. Means here what it was we will be having here is I equal to 2, because my number length already I printed here. It's 2. That number length is here. Okay. It starts from the 0, and here I didn't given greater than or equal to. If greater than or equal to, then the loop will run. How many times the loop will run, Uday?
Equal to.
If I given equal, greater than or equal to, how many times the loop will run?
2 times.
That means how many times the loop will run?
3 times, sir.
Uday, you're missing a point. It will run for 3 times. 0, 1,
Okay.
2. So now it was
Okay.
starting from 0. So now I shouldn't give the equal. So it should give 1.
1.
So now when we have been given, it run for 2 times. Because I need to run only 2 times, right? I have only 2 lists.
Okay.
Okay. Now I given here I equal to 0, and my number length is this plus I. Okay. So now I'll keep that. I'll keep the sys out here, saying that this is out. My list count. Okay, this is what my list count, right? So I'll just give here as I. So the first time it will print for me. So now let's see how many times this will run for me. See, the list count, first time it run for this 0th, and the list count 1, it run for the second list. Anything, any doubts or anything here? As this is the silliest
No,
thing, means we don't have any doubts. I can understand. Now come back to here, to this internal for loop. Now internal for loop, we came here. Now into the internal for loop, I assign the jth value, and I'm taking the length of the means I. The first time, what it will come, my length is 0. The length of 0, okay, then I was incrementing. What is the length of 0?
4.
4.
Here you need to see the length of 0 is
4.
4. So now how many times this loop will run for the first time, means for the 0? How many times it will run?
5 times.
4 times.
Bus.
4
4
times.
times if it is
4
there, means
times.
how it will run for 5 times?
4 times.
Here it is less than, not less than, equal to.
Okay.
Okay. Now what it will try to take is, it will take the ith value and the jth value. Let's see. It will go, I want this value, this value, this value, this value to be printed. Okay. Now I'll do one thing for your means if I run both at one shot, you'll get confused. I'll give another step. Okay. Now I'll what I need to do now, I'll do, okay, 0 and okay, rather than this. Okay. Dharani, you tell me.
Yes, sir.
Now I wanted to print, excuse me. I wanted to print all these values. Okay. So what means, what is the count of this particular list?
4, sir.
Index, that is a length. Okay. What is the index of this list?
3. 0, 1, 2, 3.
0, 0.
Ma'am, I'm asking the index.
0, sir.
Okay.
0,
So now, what is the, means if I, that's where I'm giving the index equal to 0, because I wanted to print these values, right? I'm giving, see now, j equal to 0, j less than number 0, the first length, and then j plus plus, and I wanted to print here. So what I'll try to give 0.
0.
Okay. I just execute the program. Have you seen here? Okay. I'll write some comment here. My first list okay, you see, right? My first list, it was printing, means 1, 2, 3, 4. Now Sandhya, can you tell me, I wanted to print my second list, so what is the code change I need to do it here?
1. My number 1.
That's it. Excellent, right? I just need to change this one and execute that. See, 5, 6, 7. Excellent, right? Now, holistically, what means now what I'm doing? So here I'm changing 1 and 0, right? So that is what the ith value. So now if you come over here, I'll come back and then I'll uncomment this particular section. Now you see here, first time it will come 0, second time it will come for 1. Now I'll execute this program and show it. So now you see here, if I have this statement, that would be easier for you to understand. Okay. Now you see, you got it, right? Now, when it comes, see now these all things are there. When it is these things are printing, I'll keep one thing here to make it clear. I'm doing this all. Okay. So now first, the length of the complete array, 2-dimensional array, is 2. And for the first list, I have 4 elements. Second list, I have 3 elements. Now coming back here, now the count of this one, the count is this, right? I'll add one more time here. Okay. Now 2, 3, 4, I understand. Now first my list count, Okay, first my list count is 0, means I equal to 0. I came with I equal to 0 here, and here the length of I equal to 0. So how much is I equal to 0? Length is 4. So now this particular loop will run for 4 times because it was starting from 0. So it run for 4 times. Now J++, and the first it was printing 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now it printed this. Now once after this one, this loop has been done, and then it come out, and once again it taken my list counter. So my list count here, it from 0 to 1 it incremented. So now from 0 to 1 it incremented, and here the I value is 1, and here the I value is 1, and then it started printing. So now what is the length of this one? The length of this one is 3. The second array, the second list is 3. Now that particular 3, 1, 2, 3. So now it printed 5, 6, 7. How simple is this? Complicated? Understood?
No, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir.
So that's how you should learn the things. See, always, if you have the doubts, you just split the program and then try to run it. So you can understand that one. So this is how you need to do the experiments. If you do that, then you can easily understand. So you should know where to keep what. First, every time you'll struggle. See, I'm the dumbest student in my class. I'm the last guy. So if I'm able to understand something, anyone can easily understand anything. See, I don't wanted ever to do the coding at all, but unfortunately I get into it. I don't know that unfortunate came to the fortunate. So always means it was very hard for me to learn. At least at this point of time, someone is saying for you. But for me, the people used to chase and pull my legs. Because of that only I learned it. Okay, those things are apart. So why I'm saying is, when you're starting this, always you'll have the troubles. You get stuck. You will have lots and lots of problems. But still, only on practice you'll do it. See now, I stopped Java and I was currently working in Python. When I was writing the program, I was getting stuck on the syntax and all the things. Because I stopped Java and I was working on Python. I'm not on the hands-on. So always you need to do practice, then only you'll get it. See now you heard all this story, right? You feel that you understand the two-dimensional array very clearly. But when you go and implement, you'll stuck at a lot of points. Okay, that's it. So now this is what altogether a single dimensional array and a two-dimensional array. This is what we are talking about. Any doubts in this single dimensional array and two-dimensional array?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Clear? Okay, so I comment all these things for ease of use. Now I'll go for each. Okay. This is also very simple, but yeah. Okay. Now what I'll try to do for the for each is, it's very simple. Okay. Thank you. So now if you see here, this is what the data type, and this is a single dimensional array, and this is a value, and to this value I have 4 values. Same. What is the length of this particular array, Anish?
4.
Huh?
4.
What is the index? Index of Mazda?
Mazda is 3.
That is what the difference. So now index starts 0, length will start from 1. Understood. Now here, this is my cars, right? So I'm just taking the cars and keeping over here. So we know the for loop in syntax also. Here we need to declare and initialize the value, and we need to give the terminatory condition, and we need to give the increment or decrement operators. This is what we need to do it. But whereas here, the syntax of for each is, it was saying that each. So for each is used only for lists. That is what first thing you need to remember. If it is not a list and array, you can't use the for each. You need to go with this traditional for loop. Now, when you are using for each, if you are using a for each, means by default, that is for a list only we can use it. Now, what is a list here? List or array? Okay, guys, there are another topic, lists, and we have a huge topic called collections. So that's a wonderful topic. There we will discuss about that. Now here, this is an array. So now I kept this particular array here. Simple. Now, what is the data type of this one?
String.
String.
Huh?
String. String.
String. Okay, I mentioned the data type. And into this, I need to iterate all. So now I need to have some variable for this one, right? What I'll do, I'll say that str car names. I given it. Okay, now what it will do, it will go to this array and it will fetch all these particular names and it will try to give it for me. Now I'll just wanted to do, I'll go and I just wanted to print. Okay, here I'll add some more thing for your clarity. Say my car name equal to here and then plus, and then I'll run this. That's it. Java will take internally how to run those all things. You don't need to worry about it. If it is a list, write the list here. And what is the data type? Write that particular data type and give a variable for this. This variable will go iterate for all, and then it will print for us. That's it. Is it hard? You don't need to define the
No, sir.
initialization, or you don't need to define the terminating condition. How many things are there in this list? It will pick that list and it will print. So now even you wanted to add some more thing. I wanted to add mech. So now you see, that's it. But only the thing is it follow the sequence. Randomly it will not print. So now if I change this mech from here to here, that's it. Okay, it follow the sequence and then it will print for us. This is what for each. So you need to remember
Sir,
one thing. When you should use the for each means you will be having an arrays or a list. At that point of time, you need to use the for each. And normal for loops, whenever you means if it is not a list, then we need to use this for loops. You need to know which is convenient. You know, the same thing you can see now. The same values we printed here with like this, right? This is what we have been printed, right? Control this. These all add. Okay, I'll uncomment this also. Now here I'll just comment this one. Someone is asking me the question. I'll finish this one and I'll ask you. See, it was printing. So whatever the things are there with a normal for loop also, this is how I'll be doing it. If you wanted to do with this particular for loop also, we can do it. So now with this particular for loop, which is easy, this is easy, but it up to the people, whatever they wanted to use it. See, that's it. Got it? But here, if you wanted specific value, you will not get it. It will write it for all. But here you can get, means here also it will print to you all, but breaking, break statements and all those things, you can't use it here. If you use break, it will first value, it will print and then it will come out. Yeah, someone is asking me a question.
Actually, that was my question, sir. If I want a specific element, then how will I get it from
no. Here, that's what I'm saying, right?
Because the index number?
No, here we don't have the index numbers itself. It was completely iterating it. If you wanted doing with the index numbers, then you need to go here and then here you need to give it in this, how we have been given in these values. This is how you need to get it in the for loop. So that's a basic difference between a for and for each. For each will iterate all the values and then it will print for me.
Sorry to interrupt, sir, but I think I saw in W3 school, they have changed that value. Means cars of 0 is equal to, they have given some other name. So when print is given,
tell me where? You wanted to share the screen?
Actually, I only need to search. I didn't. But I saw that cars of 0 or by index number, they have changed some other thing.
I didn't understand the question, Dharni. You just show it to me. I'll explain about it.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Okay. So guys, now overall, what is the conclusion here? We wanted to bring it up is, so this is what the single dimensional array, and this is what the double dimensional array, and this is what the for each. So this is what we wanted to do it. So any other questions on this one? Guys, any questions? Is it tough, guys?
No,
No,
we are
sir,
clear.
easy.
Yes.
So we
Yes.
have done all. So now these bitwise operators are there. So we need to know about this left shift, right shift, and then pipe. Okay. So this can we discuss later?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
You guys are waiting for that, right? You're already bored with it. I know. Yeah. So next, whenever we are meeting, so first we'll talk about this for 5 to 10 minutes. It will not take much time. I used to say that, but still I'll consume time because I said half an hour for this all, but it taken more than an hour. Fine, guys. I'll just stop it over here. Now, if you have any questions, I'll help you out, or else I'll wind up the session.
No.
No, it's